In today's show, Bitcoin plunges below $18,000 on a well-anticipated correction. Now, unfortunately, it was to the downside, but in today's show, I'll be breaking down the key levels to watch out for, including a CME futures gap now just $1,300 away. And as Michael Van de Poppe points out, third test of support and breakdown, testing levels multiple times doesn't make the level stronger. Downtrend likely to continue? I think so, unless 18,500 to 18,700 is reclaimed. I think we'll continue correcting. I'll be breaking all this down for you in today's show. And breaking news, Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater, the world's largest hedge fund, just said in a Reddit thread, I think that Bitcoin and some other digital currencies have over the last 10 years established themselves as interesting gold-like asset alternatives. That's right, and the Billionaire's new Bitcoin praise echoes that of MicroStrategy. And in this Ask Me Anything session, which took place yesterday on December 8th on this Reddit thread, the Billionaire goes on to share, I think that Bitcoin and some other digital currencies have over the last 10 years established themselves as interesting gold-like asset alternatives with similarities and differences to gold and other limited supply, mobile storeholds of wealth, so it could serve as a diversifier to gold and other such storeholds of wealth assets. I'll be breaking all this down for you in today's show. Also, breaking news on November 16th. Remember that Citibank analyst, super bullish on Bitcoin, predicting a $318,000 Bitcoin price by December of 2021. Well, guess what? As of yesterday, December 8th, Citi downgrades MicroStrategy stock after a bold Bitcoin bet. That's right, and as VJ points out, Citi downgraded MicroStrategy because of its plan to accumulate a significant amount of Bitcoin in its corporate treasury. Never forget, this is one of the ratings agencies that rated some prime mortgages a AAA rating right before the housing market crashed and destroyed the global economy. We'll be discussing this right here in today's show. Also, as Dan Held points out, averaged out, Bitcoin has 10x every 2 years, from 1 cent back in 2008 all the way to $10,000 in 2020. We'll be discussing this in today's show, and also taking a look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, Bitcoin and all the major altcoins are in the red and currently correcting, but where's the Bitcoin price likely to go from here? Find out all this, plus so much more in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day, so be sure to smash that subscribe button. That's right, and turn on all notifications to receive daily, premium Crypto News Alerts every single day, just like this. And before I kick off today's show, if interested in tapping into OPM, leveraging other people's money to grow your wealth and crypto portfolio, then smash that link right below the video in the description. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. We have a lot to discuss today, so let's kick it off by diving right in, shall we? Bitcoin fell below $18,000 on December 9th in the latest continuation of its bearish come down from its all-time highs. That's right, as you can see right here, a sea of red in the crypto market. But guess what? We bounced back above 18,200 currently, so it's not the end of the world, but there's some critical levels we must keep our eyes on this week. That's right. According to many analysts, the Bitcoin price should keep correcting. TradingView showed Bitcoin losing 18,000 support during trading hours after a critical moving average level also gave away. So yeah, we dropped to about 17,600 before recovering back to above 18,000, which we're currently at. Now keep in mind that this situation was tenuous for Bitcoin after support was lost higher up, with exchange data showing buyer interest only lined up in significant amounts at 16,200, and converse selling pressure had provided an instant rejection at close to $20,000 last week. That's right, we climbed to about 19,900 and change before that instant correction we witnessed. Now, as pointed out by analyst Michael Van de Poppe, who tweeted right here, third test of support and breakdown, testing levels multiple times doesn't make the level stronger. Downtrend likely to continue? I think so, unless 18,500 to 18,700 is reclaimed. I think we'll continue correcting. And it's also important to point out there's a CME futures gap at about that $17,000 mark, which we're about $1,300 away from. Now, commonly, the market tends to close these gaps, but you never know, especially during a bullish trend. But I'd love to know your thoughts if you feel we're likely to break down below $17,000 closing that CME futures gap. Let me know in the comments right down below. Now, it's also important to point out that many of the big institutions and big players are buying up the dip BTFD all freaking day. Both Van de Poppe and others were broadly optimistic, however, noting that lower levels could provide a buying opportunity for large volume clients. That's right. When there is a dip, we take advantage of it, right? And we hodl for the long haul. So look at this as Bitcoin discount right now, like another Black Friday sale. So take advantage of it versus complaining. And I like what Plan B pointed out right here. Watch how traders, ish coiners, and weak hands transfer their Bitcoin to strong hands like Grayscale, PayPal, Square, MicroStrategy, etc. These Bitcoin will disappear from the market and go into the deep cold storage and stay there for years. That's a fact, because you have companies like Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy who says they're going to be hodling Bitcoin for the next 100 years. So don't complain when there is a dip, and don't complain when you see companies like Grayscale or MicroStrategy purchasing hundreds of millions of dollars worth of the king of all crypto. Just stop selling your Bitcoin, because when you do, you're transferring it to their stronger hands. All right, and before I break down our next story of the day and I share this breaking news that Cameron Winklevoss points out, Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater, the world's largest hedge fund, just said in a Reddit thread, "I think that Bitcoin and some other digital currencies have over the last 10 years established themselves as interesting gold-like asset alternatives." Let's first take a look at the overall crypto market. We can see Bitcoin down 3.66%, trading just above $18,150. It's important to maintain this level and not break down further. If we do break down below 18,000, then expect to continue correcting and possibly down to that $17,000 CME futures gap. We have Ethereum down 2.8%, trading at $561. We have XRP in the blood red, down 8.2%, trading at 54.3 cents. I also like to point out that there's a hard fork on the XRP network, which is occurring December 12th. We have Miss Litecoin down 6%, trading just below $76. We have Chainlink down 3.44%, trading at $12.21. So as you can see, Bitcoin and all the major altcoins are currently correcting and in the red. All right, now let's break down our next story of the day. A flood of money and credit. Ray Dalio's new Bitcoin praise echoes MicroStrategy. Bitcoin can offer protection against the depreciating value of money. Newly bullish investor Ray Dalio says in a Reddit Ask Me Anything session yesterday on December 8th. Dalio, who last month abandoned his skepticism of Bitcoin, said that the crypto could complement gold as an investment. That's right, he broke this down in this Reddit thread where he wrote, "I'm Ray Dalio, founder of Bridgewater Associates. We are in unusual and risky times. I've been studying the forces behind the rise and fall of great empires and their reserve currencies throughout history with a focus on what that means for the US and China today. Ask me about this or anything." And when someone asked him about Bitcoin, he shared the following: "I think that Bitcoin and some other digital currencies have over the last 10 years established themselves as interesting gold-like asset alternatives with similarities and differences to gold and other limited supply, mobile storeholds of wealth, so it could serve as a diversifier to gold and other such storeholds of wealth assets." So there you have it. And Dalio also shed light on his opinion of various aspects of the global economy, including the US as well as its current position, China, and the state of fiat currency. And continuing, he argued that money printing would spur asset inflation, implying that simply holding wealth in cash would lead to losses. That's right, he goes on to share, "We are in a flood of money and credit that is lifting most asset prices and distributing wealth in a way that the system that we've come to believe is normal is unable to, and that is threatening to the value of our money and credit," he warned. "And most likely that flood will not recede, so those assets will not decline when measured in the depreciating value of money. It is important to diversify well in terms of currencies and countries as well as asset classes." Pretty powerful words coming from the billionaire himself. Now a familiar Bitcoin bull case, his perspective conspicuously mimics that of Bitcoin proponents, notably Michael Saylor, the CEO of MicroStrategy, who is guiding the company towards Bitcoin reserves of nearly $1 billion. That's right, as I broke down in great detail in yesterday's episode, Michael Saylor is raising an additional $400 million, which they're going to put into the king of all crypto. Now Saylor, in an interview with the Bitcoin Standard author Saifedean Ammous, shout out to Saifedean, I just actually picked up that book. I'm reading it and I'm glad I am. In September, stressed that asset inflation was far outstripping that of cash and that large paper money holdings were thus akin to a melting ice cube. And what a great analogy, especially for these corporations that are sitting on hundreds of billions of dollars in fiat trash, aka a melting ice cube, such as Apple, Microsoft, and the likes continue. Now, Dalio thus departs further and further from the Bitcoin skeptic position he held just a few weeks back, which began to thaw when he admitted that he may be missing something about its true nature. Nonetheless, he stopped short of advocating a full Bitcoin portfolio. The main thing is to have some of these types of assets with limited supply that are mobile and that are storeholds of wealth, including stocks in one's portfolio, and to diversify among them. Not enough people do that, he reasoned. And on the topic of gold, Dalio was more opaque. Choosing between the precious metal and Bitcoin would depend on central banks' behavior. He goes on to share, as for Bitcoin relative to gold, I have a strong preference for holding those things which central banks are going to want and hold and exchange value in when they're trying to transact, he concluded. So there you have it. Open the floodgates and let's go. And Dan Held just pointed out right here, updated financial institutions and trading legends that recognize Bitcoin is gold 2.0, including Fidelity, JP Morgan, Bloomberg, Deutsche Bank, Citibank, Jefferies, BlackRock, Susquehanna, hope I'm pronouncing that one right, Paul Tudor Jones, as we discussed here today, Stanley Druckenmiller, who recently joined the party. We have Guggenheim, Alliance Bernstein, and Bill Miller, and the list continues. All right, before we discuss our next topic of the day, with Citibank analysts going from calling a Bitcoin price of $318,000 by December to now downgrading MicroStrategy stock after their bold Bitcoin bet, let's first take a look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting at $541 billion with $160 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, and Bitcoin dominance barely back on the decline. Yesterday it was 62.8%, today it's 62.7% according to CoinMarketCap. And now checking out the top gainers within the top 100. Yesterday there was like none, minus some stable coins as everything was in the red. Today we got Polkadot barely in the green, up 0.9%, trading at $4.89. We have Celsius up 0.75%, trading at $2.29. Thorchain barely in the green, up 0.17%, trading at 88.7 cents. And Kusama up 2%, trading just below $50. And now checking out the biggest losers within the top 100. We have XRP down a whopping 6.5%, trading at 54.7 cents. How many of you are currently holding XRP and going to be taking advantage of the fork coming up on December 12th? Let me know in the comments below. Also, we have OMG Network down 5.4%, trading at $3.20. Bitcoin Gold down 5%, trading at $8.45, and Zilliqa down 4%, trading at 3 cents. Now, out of this list of the biggest gainers and losers, which altcoins in particular are you most bullish on? Drop me a comment right down below. And now checking out the Binance margins, we can see the bears are in control, leading barely with 51% shorts versus about 49% longs. Are you currently bullish or bearish on the king of all crypto? Holla at your boy. And now checking out one of my favorite indicators is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we're currently rated an 86 in extreme greed. Yesterday was a 95, which is as high as I've seen it in the previous years in extreme greed. Last week a 92, and last month a 90 in extreme greed. Now, if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity, aka BTFD. Buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, that means the market is due for a correction like we're witnessing right now. All right, and before I break down the latest with Citi downgrading MicroStrategy stock after their bold Bitcoin bet, as well as averaged out Bitcoin 10xing every 2 years, first, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video in the description for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the market. This goes for all 625 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also have some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including the blog to my podcast, which could be found at cryptonewsyes.com. Also, be sure to smash that subscribe button to receive daily crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. It also greatly helps support the channel, and I greatly appreciate your continued support. FYI, you must be logged in to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel, just so you know. Also, you can find us on all the major podcasts and platforms, from Spotify, the home of the Joe Rogan Experience, to Apple's iTunes. You can also follow me on Twitter to receive daily crypto news alerts. I'm very active on crypto Twitter. My Twitter handle is Crypto News Yes. And for those of you active on Facebook, I do have a private crypto Facebook group entitled Crypto Alchemy. To join it, click this link, request to join. I'll be sure to plug you in. And for those of you active on Telegram, I do have an uncensored crypto Telegram chat. To join it, click this link. You'll automatically be added, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you personally on the inside. All right, now let's break down the latest right here. Remember, back on November 16th, Citibank analysts came out extremely bullish, predicting a $318,000 Bitcoin price by December of 2021, which got everyone's attention in the crypto space. Well, guess what? As of yesterday, December 8th, Citi downgrades MicroStrategy stock after a bold Bitcoin bet. Very interesting, right? And checking out some of the responses right here. Chris Bleck wrote, I agree. Bitcoin will hit $300,000, but it will hit $7,000 first and obliterate their stock price in the process. And then TY wrote, maybe 3,000, then 612,000 with some retracing along the way. And T makes a great point right here. Different departments within Citi, they are decentralized within the bank. And Jameson responded, consensus failure. Touche. Now checking out this response from VJ, and shout out to him. I watched his recent interview on the Kaiser Report. It was excellent, and I highly recommend checking it out. In fact, he was on 2 parts back to back. Good stuff. But here's what he wrote. Citi downgraded MicroStrategy because of its plan to accumulate a significant amount of Bitcoin in its corporate treasury. Now here's the important part. Never forget, this is one of the rating agencies that rated subprime mortgages a AAA right before the housing market crashed and destroyed the global economy. Facts. And he continues right here. I agree with some of the comments that I misclassified Citi as one of the ratings agencies. It was not without a major portion of the blame for the financial crisis. However, as he points out in this article from Reuters, the U.S. rescued Citibank, agreeing to shoulder most losses on about $306 billion of the bank's risky assets and inject new capital, bolstering investor hopes that the government will support big banks as the economy sinks into recession. So there you have it. And Bitcoin Tina responded, I think you're being harsh. Citi only almost went out of business, but rescued by the U.S. government 3 times, I believe. Latman, an emerging market debt under Walter Wriston, 1990-1991, under John Reed in a recession, and again in 2008 and 2009. And Bitcoin Tina continues, I actually prefer that the analyst does not like it. If he did like MicroStrategy buying more Bitcoin, it would be close to a top. Great perspective. And Biddy responded to Bitcoin Tina, no one said that the most extreme outlier in terms of success should or would be well understood. And Bitcoin Tina responded, Citi is one of the most extreme outliers in going bust. And BTC makes a great point. Naturally, fiat institutions will feel the pain of billions of dollars leaving their environment, going into distributed ledgers. I expect no less from them to criticize and sow doubt to destabilize their fiat losses. All right, now let's check out this tweet from Dan Held, who wrote, averaged out, Bitcoin has 10x every 2 years. That's right. In 2008, Bitcoin was trading at 1 penny. 2 years later, in 2010, it was trading at 10 cents. And then in 2012, Bitcoin was trading at $1. In 2014, we hit $10 per BTC. In 2016, Bitcoin started trading at $100. In 2018, at $1,000. And in 2020, $10,000. So if we continue this momentum and continue rising, 10xing every 2 years, you do the math. In 2022, that would put us at $100,000 per Bitcoin. Also like to point out that the Stock to Flow X model by Plan B predicts a $100,000 Bitcoin price by the end of next year, December 2021. And Stock to Flow X also predicts a $288,000 Bitcoin price medium average between the years 2020 and 2024. Let me know when you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to 5x from here, hitting a $100,000 6-digit price point. Drop me a comment right down below. And now for a quick recap of what I covered with you right here in today's show. Bitcoin plunges below $18,000 as I shared with you the key levels to watch out for next. As Michael Van de Poppe points out, downtrend likely to continue. I think so, unless 18,500 to 18,700 is reclaimed. I think we'll continue correcting. Also, as I pointed out by Plan B, watch how traders, ishcoiners, and weak hands transfer their Bitcoin to strong hands like Grayscale, PayPal, Square, MicroStrategy, etc. These Bitcoin will disappear from the market and go deep into cold storage and stay there for years. So stop selling your Bitcoin to these major companies, right? Start accumulating, stacking those sats, and hodl be thy name. Also in today's show, as Cameron Winklevoss points out, breaking news. Ray Dalio, the founder of Bridgewater, the world's largest hedge fund, just said in a Reddit thread, I think that Bitcoin and some other digital currencies have over the last 10 years established themselves as interesting gold-like asset alternatives. It feels good to see Ray Dalio warming up to the king of all crypto. As I broke down with you right here, the billionaire warns about incoming asset inflation while recommending Bitcoin and gold as he continues warming up to cryptocurrency. Also in today's show, as I pointed out, the floodgates have officially opened. Financial institutions and trading legends that recognize Bitcoin as gold 2.0, from Fidelity, JP Morgan, Bloomberg, Deutsche Bank, Citibank, BlackRock, and the list goes on and on. Also in today's show, as I pointed out, out. Citi now downgrades MicroStrategy stock after a bold Bitcoin bet. And I broke down the latest insights from VJ, who makes a great point. Never forget, this is one of the rating agencies that rated some prime mortgages a AAA right before the housing market crashed and destroyed the global economy. And as I pointed out by Dan Held, averaged out, Bitcoin has 10x every 2 years. So if we continue with this trajectory, that would put the Bitcoin price at $100,000 by 2022. So where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Do you feel we'll continue correcting and close that CME futures gap at 17,000? Or do you feel we'll continue climbing back up above that 18,500 to 18,700 resistance, as Michael Van de Poppe points out? Let me know. Drop me a comment right down below. Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto matrix. If you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that subscribe button. That's right, and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And real quick before I go, if interested in tapping into OPM, leveraging other people's money to grow your wealth and crypto portfolio, then smash that link right below the video in the description. You'll be glad you did, and register for this free system. And I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Peace.